Hey, welcome everybody to Battle Pirates Crib open mic. The link's in the right-hand side in your chat box in case you'd like to join the show. We're going to talk about some of the news that happened today, and also the TLCs that popped today that we learned about yesterday. And I'll go ahead and introduce everybody from left to right. Magic Mike.
Happy VXP. Happy Easter.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And Kevin.
Good evening, everybody.
And High Lord.
Hello. How's everybody doing?
Oh, pretty good. And Ben.
Hello, everyone. Happy Easter.
And Aussie.
Good morning, everybody.
So, all right. What is it? Oh, well, before we start the slides, the XP weekend is basically a repeat of last weekend. It's very easy. We went through it last month at this time. I was able to rank up my arch nemesis from 0 to Scald in about 20 minutes with 25 minutes with no damage. So I don't know. Should we go through that again, or everybody remembers how that works? It's basically how you drive. You hide in the clouds, get something to bait to drive by it, and it's all good.
Huh. Nice.
So okay. And
don't,
then
don't forget to look and see if you have Arch Nemesis tokens.
yeah, I got a lot of fucking tokens.
I'm talking about VXP tokens. There was some event that gave us some.
Okay. Well, let's talk about since VXP is boring, and we'll get to some of the new news. What did everybody think about? We haven't had an open mic since Fog of War is completed. Anybody have any thoughts that they'd like to bring up now on that, or is that old news for everybody?
Well, that shit sucked. That's all I have to say.
Why is that?
The difficulty level was just cranked up way too high. The fucking 4 NIMs decked out should have been fine, and they were not. And that was disappointing.
What target were you trying to hit?
I tried the 100s, and then it wouldn't do it. You needed a full fleet all maxed out, and that's bullshit for the first of the raid of the cycle. But anyways, I wasn't too happy, so I'd hit 80s, and then I just started hitting like 60s. I'm like, fuck this. I only got the Carnage and all its toys. I got nothing else. I was like, I don't want nothing else. It's bullshit.
Yeah, I was able to hit the 80s for instant repair on the map or instant repair on the dock, with just 3 of them. So it's a driving thing with the Nemesis.
Yep, you're right. It's all about driving.
So it's look at some videos, but it's basically what I was describing earlier about working out how and when and where to hide in the clouds. And it wasn't that bad. I think it just lacked the points relative to the prizes. So anybody else have any thoughts on Fog of War?
Easy corrosive damage. Look out for round 2. That's my opinion.
You have a set. Well, you have a Nemesis though, right?
I have a Nemesis fleet. I just got a bad feeling they're going to up the corrosive damage enough that the Nimmies are going to need a little more protection. So definitely go with the Calm 4 armor. I believe that will help out a bunch. And then as to what else, I haven't investigated refitting my full fleet.
Yeah, I mean, basically, I avoided the corrosive. In the battle report, unless I screwed up, I wasn't getting corrosive damage in the 80s. So that's also sort of a driving issue. But yeah, I had the reinforced reactive on my ship instead of the Com 3, but I am transitioning over to the Com 4. Just because I also now have the ability to put the penetrative sync drive before the next raid. So it all sort of balances out, in my opinion. And also, you're going to be faster with the sync drive, so it's actually easier at that point to outrun the Viperfish, the ones with the orange flags above them, and makes, and now we're going to have more ships as well with the combat speed debuff on the Nemesis. So it should be easier and easier to avoid, in theory, corrosive damage, at least in the 80s. We're not, the 100s normally change significantly.
Right.
So, yeah, we'll see.
We're hoping, right?
Yeah, we're hoping.
Yeah, I have my hopes up high.
I found the event to be
I
a
hated it.
challenge. First off, because Goofy me wasn't paying attention to my build weight, and I could only get the Arch Nemesis and one Nemesis in a fleet, and then my two other Nemes in a fleet. So I was either doing the 80s with two ships or splitting and running all four individually in the tier 6 to get my points at a dramatic price cut. So
Okay. I'm not sure who's making the funny noise, but it's interesting.
I don't know. My phone just went stupid. I don't know what.
Ozzy's getting silly.
Okay.
I don't know what.
Hey, Ren just showed up.
Down under.
Hey, Ren just showed up. Hey, Ren.
Hi guys, how are you?
good evening,
Can you
Ren.
hear me?
Hey, Ren.
Yeah. Yep.
In the fog of war, the only thing I had a problem with was the stonefish missiles. I could not counter them no matter what. Any
Nor
other
could I.
never got through.
Yeah, and that's part. If you're running the 80s, like I don't know about the 100s, you could avoid them by remembering where they were. And again, it was sort of a driving thing. They never saw me, so I didn't take damage from those either. It was just a matter of remembering that they're going to be a little bit behind the other subs because they're slower, and just maintaining your position in the fog and your bait ship at the same time, and just letting them run through and get killed. So unless I messed up and got impatient, they didn't really do damage to me. So, yeah, they appear to have extremely high evade though. But in the future, I would look at like how you're driving and when they show up, because they're grouped in with the other ones. Not with the Viperfish. What's the other one? The main one. The Viperfish are the ones with the orange flags. The Stonefish are the slow ones that fire those high-arcing missiles. And what's the main ones that we trigger? Usually come in groups of 3. What?
The cheapos.
Yeah, I don't know. They're the ones that are always in the daily, in the Scourge Blockade. I forgot what they call them.
Okay. Ren, how was your raid?
It was good. I waited until Kixeye tuned down the damage on the targets to start. Before that, I was just trying 60s, hitting 80s, and then once they announced that they tuned down the 100s, I gave them a try. And it was good. The 102s, I started the raid taking about an hour, 40 minutes, an hour, 50 minutes per target, and I ended the raid taking between 2 and 20 minutes per target.
Okay.
And then the 100s, once I learned the path from Visaga, was easy.
Okay.
It just took a bit longer, but if you kited them right, it was always under 1 hour damage, guaranteed.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't have the flag, so I shied away from doing that. Did you have the flag at that point?
I did.
Okay.
I did.
Yeah.
Because I took a deal. There was a deal where they were selling, I think was like for gold, a bunch of Arch Nemesis build tokens, and was real cheap. So I got like 8 days of those tokens, and it cost me $6-7, something like that.
Okay.
And because of that, I managed to have none of my ships were complete at the beginning of the raid. They're all missing a special, missing an armor, missing some weapons. But by end of raid, especially when you got those 5 days free tokens and whatnot, they were all kind of complete.
Yeah, mine are still missing armor, but yeah, armor's seems overly expensive to me, the way they've implemented armor for the last 5 or 6 months with the it just seems to be too long to me.
Always the most expensive part of building, the longest part of building, whichever way you want to call it. It's always the armor now. I agree.
Yeah, and over a day and a half per. Yeah, it just seems to be too much.
Yeah, but one thing I'm going to say, and that to me was a big advantage for Nemesis owners, was that this time finally we have a fleet that doesn't depend on having the 5 ships in to maximize their resistances.
Mhm.
Like the Saturn's still like that, right? Each ship adds a bonus to all ships in the fleet, so you kind of need all 5 for max performance. And the Nemesis are not like that. That's why I opted for them. I'm like, if I got to start with 4 ships, the resistance is the same with 3, with 4, with 5. You're just lacking firepower.
Yeah, the only thing you're missing by not having all 5 ships is the lack of the combat speed debuff, and I'm not really exactly sure how that's working. I don't think it goes
Barely
off
working.
the maximum speed. I think it's going off the combat speed modifiers that they put on the ship.
Yeah, it's barely working, that aura that debuffs speed of the enemies. Like, you barely see a difference. They probably have something stupid like 70, 80, 90% tactical field resistance. So your 15% maybe amounts to 1% in the end.
That could be it. Could be tactical field, or more. What I was thinking was that maybe it was impact. Like they have a base speed of 70, and then they have engines, because they build those ships like we build. At least they used to back in the day. They sort of build the ships with components. They can tweak those components, but I was just wondering if that was coming off their engine or whatnot. Instead of providing plus 50, now it's some percentage plus 25, but most of it's coming from base speed. I wasn't sure how that was. Yeah, tactical field resistance could work. Could be the other solution too. Probably easier for them to tune that way. Okay. Anybody else have anything on Fog of War?
Just the armor issue.
The armor issue appears to be somewhat fixed in the TLCs from what I've seen. That people are taking. Is that true? Well, we'll get to the TLCs, but yeah, there was the issue where people would have armored and unarmored ships, and they were taking pretty much the same damage.
Yeah.
And I think that's sort of part of what's been going on with the whole defense rating system, or PvE refactor, where they've lessened the impact of resistances / survivability and then thrown all this extra armor at us. But I'm not sure how that's, if that's the issue or there was something else going on there as well, because we also see that same problem with, if you look at the FM, as far as the fact that our Grid as Inferno Dragon doesn't perform as well as a flag as it used to, because a lot of this transition has been just creating a larger armor pool, and it doesn't appear to have as much of an effect, but it should have had more of an effect than what I was seeing people show. Personally, I wasn't running fully armored ships with unarmored ships. I just had 3 or 4 ships, depending on where I was, with 3 plates each. So I couldn't tell a difference personally. Okay. Well, I guess we should move on to the next one. See what we have, Mike. Battle Pirates next week. Hull upgrades for the Inferno Dragon. Support for Bounty 20. Base building cost reductions. I'm hoping that's the portals, but who knows. And 2 campaign reruns, so nothing too exciting there. The update and the briefing. FM and Bounty again with Howler Hull upgrades and several new Tier 8 PvP components. So pretty vague. Anybody have any thoughts on this, or should we move on to things that are more interesting?
Move along.
I haven't even, yeah, move along. Moving along, nothing to see here.
Yes.
Yes. All righty. Let's see the next one, Mike. All right. In January of this year, Chris wrote a CM diary that talked about a transition of FM from Garrison to a moving cycle where we would have 3 months of raid. And then after the 3 months of raid was over, we would transition to those ships, those hulls that we built, and the FM targets would be transitioned. So we would go from 3 months of it being our raid cycle target to 3 months of it being our FM cycle target. And this happened at the end of, I think it was January 28th when this was first mentioned. And now, however many days later, months later, they've decided to tell us that they're not doing that anymore, and that they're dropping a new Garrison Hall as part of the next raid. And at some point after that, they're going to add new Garrison targets. And also something that I saw in my base a couple days ago, I think on Wednesday, was I saw tier 6 or prize pack or whatever it is, tier 6 and tier 7.
Prize pool 6 and 7.
Prize pool 6 and 7 to my prizes in my FM. So we can all talk. I mean, if they were going to do this, I wish they, instead of telling us now, that they told us at, Valentine's Day, after, they got player input for 2 weeks, because I don't think people are continuing to bitch about it. But for 2 weeks, now they wait for another 2 months, and they tell us now. Personally, my main issue with it is I've been planning my assault builds and my assault cycle strategy as far as I was planning to build the Nemesis and build 1 to the 9s, upgrade it all the new tech whatsoever, and screw the Saturn, because then I would have a really good FM fleet. And I would just suffer through the raids and the TLCs and whatnot.
Yeah.
But now they've taken all this time to change it. But I'm sure there's people on the other side, because it obviously appears that the community feedback did not want this to happen. And the other question is, how are we going to build this thing? Go ahead.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm thinking.
Just going to say,
you'd be better off doing the original one, because you've already got the fleet. Most people would already have the fleet. Now we're going to have to build a whole new fleet.
Yeah.
More spots to take up. More time.
And that's where people were naive, right? Because people thought by bitching about the changes in FM, they thought KIXEYE was just going to let FM be and stay the same. Knowing KIXEYE, that was never going to happen. They need to make changes in FM to force people to change things, build things, whatever. And in that sense, just having the FM transition to the assault targets after the raid cycle for us players would have been the best, because as Jeff said, we'd have a full fleet by that time. Now instead, they're going to stick to Garrison, and everybody got to build a brand whole new fleet if you want to keep hitting top targets and upgrades. And, it's all piling up.
Yeah. And if people didn't have the latest tech, say they didn't get the Nemesis or the Saturn, and they're only using mana cores, that's all they had, they'd probably be able to hit the lower targets with the mana cores. But now they're going to, no matter what, they're going to have to build a whole new fleet, probably.
Yeah, or hit the lower level, or whatever's going to become the mid-level with Infernal Dragons.
Yeah. But again, you're back to the old story of you're grinding in FM, because you don't have the time to build, or not everybody, but the lower level players might not have time to build a new fleet, or might not even be able to get the new fleet.
Yeah, they don't. Some of them don't even have dragons.
Yeah.
And I'm fully confused now, because they said they were going to bring Garrison back into the raid rotation, and that's why the cycles are 3 months again. So at some point this year, in some quarter, we had the first quarter was Siege, the second quarter is Assault. I'm expecting some quarter will be Garrison. So is that going to that hull they're going to release in May for FM, is that going to be the hull we're going to use on the Garrison raid cycle, or is there not going to be a Garrison cycle anymore? I'm fully confused now.
I did ask the question about that in Discord, and Golden Doodle made it mention me, and it's like, is that what I would want? A 4-month raid cycle? And I said, personally, that's what I want. I don't know what the player base wants. I would prefer a 4-month raid cycle. And I also made, another comment was, why don't we extend a salt cycle by a month so give people a chance to build this? Because otherwise, back to the question of how is this going to be built?
It's either what you said, right? Go back to 4-month cycles, or if they're going to stick to 3-month cycles, then it makes no sense to be releasing a Garrison hull now. Release the Garrison hull a month before the Garrison raid cycle. Run it for 3 months, and after it runs, that becomes the new FM target set from the Garrison cycle, like it was before. It's just now it just throws a wrench in the machine here. We don't know which way it's going to be anymore. Right? Are we going to build a Garrison fleet in May, starting May, and they're going to introduce new Garrison targets, and that's going to be like the proto pole or something between? That's not the raid.
Yeah, I guess so. With that
again.
idea, with the Garrison raid cycle, it gives us a chance to build it, but and then it lasts for a year. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's one way to have it, accomplished. And they're probably going to give us 2 fleets, right? Or 2 hulls to choose from, right? If they throw it into the raid cycle. Yes. And David's mentioned the Proto Dragons.
Proto Dragons, yeah. Why not?
And maybe they'll open the third wheel in the SSRB.
Yeah, whatever happened to that?
Another unfinished business by Kickside. They have so many of those. They think it's a great idea, don't make as much money or whatever as they wanted to, and they just abandon it.
Yeah. So everybody,
maybe what they should be doing though, if they're going to stay with Garrison targets for the FM, then stick to the Dragons and just use an upgrade on the Dragons.
Actually,
either stick to Dragons and then wait until the Garrison raid cycle to release new stuff and transition, or
that's what I'm saying.
Just
and
tell
do
everybody
upgrades.
There won't be a Garrison cycle. The other 3 cycles are back to 4 months, and here's your new FM hull.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying, well, why don't they just, with the FM, stay with the FM? Obviously, they have changed the targets, but just do upgrades on the Dragons.
Actually,
instead of building a whole goddamn new fleet.
Or they can do both, which it sounds like we're doing.
Yeah. I still think it's better to just transition into the raid targets with what we've already got. If people are going to have to build them, they might as well just build the ships that most people have already got.
I mean, that makes sense. I, as a Nemesis owner, even though I was doing well as far as damage, these targets take a long time.
Yeah.
That was the other issue.
We're upgrading the ships. We're upgrading them. So what? We're only going to be having them for a couple of months. All right? We're upgrading them now. So what? How many more raid cycles is there? 2? 3? How many is there? I can't remember how many is in a damn cycle anymore.
Two more.
So there's 2 more. So we're upgrading them. Most people probably ain't going to have their whole fleet upgraded by the second one. Most, well, half, say. A lot of people will. But by the third one, most people will have it done. So then transition 3 months later into that cycle.
Actually, the Inferno Dragon will be getting hull upgrades.
Well, there you go. And what would be the point of that if they're not going to have this cycle anymore? I don't know. They might as well just do that and not have a new fleet.
Well, it's going to be doing it
is for people that aren't going to win this, that don't plan to build the next version, the Proto Dragon, they didn't give us the name, we'll call it the Proto Dragon at this point, is provide them the ability to increase the value of their current Inferno Dragons
Yeah.
as opposed to transitioning as quickly or ever over to the next step. I don't know.
Either way, better off. They're still better off with just sticking with the fleets people have already got, even if it's a new raid, the new raid fleets. Or so they're going to have to give us more storage.
I mean, are you guys
because
kind of
it's just getting out of hand
yeah?
again? Every time I want to build a ship, I've got to kill something.
Yeah,
Because you never know what you're going to need anymore.
That's true. Okay, so well, Ozzy says, like to continue with the old path of the assault. Everybody is opposed to bringing Garrison back and changing what they told us in January. Anybody else have any thoughts as far as this is a good or a bad or thing? Okay.
No, this is just
I'm
upgrade the
agree
dragon.
with Aussie, just because if they told us about this months ago, that would have been a whole different thing.
So, question: You guys are referring to the note on the FM transition? Is that what you're talking about then?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. That's what I thought, but I didn't hear you actually state it. Okay.
Yeah, that's what it's put up. If you have a look at the actual.
You want to click on Mike's picture? He's showing the video. I mean, the picture. We can't see him unless we click on Mike because they see a different channel on actually the other channel.
On YouTube, right?
Yeah,
I went to.
I've got.
I
both
went
up.
to BP Discord and pulled it up, and I was reading it.
Okay, now, if you're in the Hangout, you got to click on Mike because I have him on present, and that's what people see on YouTube.
Yep. No problem.
Alrighty. If we don't have anything more about the FM transition, let's at this point let's click one more. It started today. Assault Break. It's Mana Core Upgrade Plus. It's I did Price Pack 1, Price Pack 2. I lost internet for an hour, so I haven't done much more. Price Pack 1 is
2 targets, easy.
It's extremely easy. Price Pack 2,
4 targets.
Yeah, 4 targets. The other 2 are much more difficult than the first 2, but still doable. I have not done 3 and 4.
I
or the Mastery Pack.
Put a video out, Jeff, of packs 1, 2, 3. Packs 1 and 2 were really easy.
Mm-hmm.
Pack 3, the last encounter on Pack 3 is the 102 for raid, so it was easy using the Nemesis X.
Hang on.
But it would be hard for Saturn owners.
No, we're talking about Assault Break.
1.
They put the 102 in.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I thought we were talking about the Courage.
We are talking about the current one. You'll get a little robot-y, but we're talking about Assault Break, the one that's mainly for Mana Cores. I can't imagine the Mana Core is going through the 102.
No.
No.
I'm only on Price Pack 2 at the moment, so I can't tell you what Price Pack 3 is.
I'm on Price Pack 3, and it's the same as 2.
Is it? Still only 4 targets?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So it starts out in an hour, too. You don't start out at a...
No, it starts at an hour.
Yeah.
So it must all be... Is Price Pack 3 an hour as well?
Yes.
Must be. Yeah, so all the way through must be an hour for everything, each one.
Okay. And the one thing I wanted to bring out for everybody is the Mastery. You can repeat 4 times, and it's all Tier 8 stuff.
Yeah, that's good.
So you can get up to 4 days of upgrade. I just copied and pasted this. I assume I guess the last one's the Mana Core build token, an actual build. But you can get 4 days of upgrade tokens for your Nemesis and Saturn, along with 40 kits. So it's much more helpful in regards to the upgrade tokens if you do all 4 rounds.
Okay. So they're not giving you any upgrade tokens in there for the normal Mana Cores? after
Yeah, they are.
after price
Well,
pack?
in the mastery they are.
Yeah, in the
but-
mastery.
I'm sorry,
Oh, okay.
they're not in the mastery, but price pack 1 through 3 they are.
Yeah, I'm just reading in there. Oh yeah. Okay.
So you can get up to 8,
Yeah.
and that's all price pack 1 through 3 as far as using on your mana core, and then you can get an additional 4 for each the Saturn and the Nemesis,
Yeah.
and if you repeat the mastery pack all 4 times.
Yeah. That's not too bad. At least they're giving us upgrade tokens this time, not like in the raid where they didn't give tokens.
Yeah, you could probably only hold like 5 in some fucked up shit. Watch.
Yeah, probably.
I think it's 10.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
10.
pretty sure.
It's
Yeah.
10. And so you got to be careful because at least the Saturn and Nemesis one, it gives 8 of each, packs 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
So when you start doing mastery, I think you got to spend what you have before you do mastery, if mastery gives you more.
Yeah. Was that Ren? Because if it was, he's going robot.
Yeah, he's been on robot a little bit for the last couple of minutes, but
Yeah.
I'm
yeah.
sorry.
let's go to the next one.
But it is 10 upgrade tokens for mana cores as well. So I got 4 of 10 at the moment and 1 of 10 of Nemesis. So
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
so
here's
just keep an eye on all the. I just say, just everyone keep an eye on that when you do it. Make sure you don't go over 10. Get to 10
Okay.
to stop.
And tier 8 assault. This is test of courage. I haven't tried it yet. As I think Ren was saying earlier, price pack 1 is I think 60 and 80 targets. Price pack 2 I think is also 60s and 80 targets. Price pack 3 I think it's 60, 80s, and a 102.
Yeah.
And I think the mastery pack is 60, 80, 102, and then a 100. If I'm
Correct.
okay. So
Okay, so you because usually price pack 3 and the mastery have the same amount of
Not this
targets, so they've added an extra one. Okay, cool.
That shit's
Okay.
crazy. Oh wow.
Yeah.
So to give you guys can you hear me well now? Is it better?
yeah, it's better. It's much better now.
Yeah. Okay. So to give you like just a reference point, I did packs 1, 2, 3 non-stop, and at the end of the 3, I had nearly 5 hours of repairs. So I didn't think was too bad, and was more concentrated on 2 ships than the others, as usual. So it's just the 102 at the end of pack 3 for Saturn owners is going to hurt, but for Nemi users will be fine.
But then when you get to the mastery,
good.
the Nemis are going to have problems. Is that what you're saying? Because they've got the 100s.
Yeah, it's the last one. So if you do the path right, carefully, it shouldn't be a big problem. It depends primarily on your combat speed. If your combat speed on the Nemax is below 70, right, then you should use a crew to increase speed. I mean, either that remote raiders or silent hunters, the one that gives 10% speed. Then you're fine. You can kite them at max range. If it's below, if it's over 70, then just use a resistance crew or something like that.
Okay, thank you.
That's
And
awesome.
if
Thanks.
it don't mind, if it doesn't mind, I can do a little advertisement on my video here for the 100 shows the path and how to minimize damage on the Nemesis.
That's awesome. You always have good videos.
He's obviously stepped away for a minute. He's on mute.
Yeah, but the video I have for the 100 shows exactly how you go about it to do it for less than 1 hour damage to the Nemesis, the 100. So it's very doable. Just takes about 7 minutes or so.
With the Nemis.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I didn't do any of the 100s during the raid at all. So I
but it's
no
important
idea
to
how
have. It's key to have the flagship, right? If you have the flagship, and especially if the flagship's loaded with countermeasures, and that anti-proliferation system too, that increases the accuracy of the countermeasures by a lot. That's key, right?
Yeah.
On the
flagship. That's 45, isn't it? I think.
Yep.
45.
I gave up on using the new special that gives only 25%, so I'm using that one on the flag. and no countermeasures on the other ships.
Oh wow.
Mm.
Huh.
And what have you got? You've got 6 antis on your flag, haven't you? I think it was.
Yeah.
I've seen before.
Yeah, 6 MDS-3, and that proliferation system 2 for the 45% accuracy and big range. Then on the other guys, just because you can't fit all missiles, it's too heavy. I have 1 flanks 4, but no countermeasure specials. Pretty much there for the penetrative survival bonus. It never fires.
Okay.
I gotta find a way if I can put a missile there or something, because the 6 on the flagship are more than enough.
Okay.
What I'm hearing is people are having a hard time with that campaign, the later prize packs, because of time.
Not on pack 3. That was easy to complete with a full fleet again. Maybe people struggling have less than a full fleet, but
Or don't have the flag.
exactly. If it's less than a full fleet, like flag +4, it might be, but with the 5 ships on, was pretty easy on time, like easy.
I only have 4, but they're pretty nice. But now I got to add new shit, which is fucked up.
Okay. All right. We've lost Hefe.
I guess.
Yeah,
so.
he was only going to go. This was the last slide, so
Oh, was it? Oh, okay.
at least per what he said earlier. And I have to step away for a minute, so if he comes back and take me off, I'll be right back.
I don't know what happened. Didn't say he was going anywhere, did he?
Yeah, and a sidebar. It says he probably wanted to get
Oh.
a beer, go to the bathroom or something. Who knows?
Oh, okay. I wasn't reading the side chat. Probably because I got it closed. How do you get the side chat back up? I don't even know where it is.
Yeah, one thing I did on a couple ships already. I put that, what's it called, penetrative sync drive, and I put COM4.
Oh yeah, how is it?
So in the end, I mean, you don't see the speed difference because the other 3 ships are still running resistor.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, there was a good gain in the survival thing, the statistic there. Like
Nice.
corrosive went from 73 to 76%. And
Nice.
the penetrative was a big gain. It went from I think it was like 250 something to 280%.
Wow.
Yeah, it was big.
By changing what?
I took a corrosive resistor out and I put penetrative sync drive in.
Penetrative sync drive. Yeah, but
Oh,
you can
okay,
only get 2 of those.
I got 2 exactly.
Yeah,
but you'll be able to get 6 before.
No, I get. Yeah. I got that part. I'm just saying there was only there was a limit. I haven't started that. I'll start that shit tomorrow.
I wanted to keep some corrosive survival because sometimes you make a mistake, right? So before I was using corrosive resistor, but the thing is, with the alloy COM4, you gain so much more corrosive survival that I could afford to take the corrosive resistor out, add the penetrative sync drive in, and still have gains on both corrosive and penetrative.
Yeah, that's still awesome. I like the idea. I'm going to do that too.
Yeah, well, that's a huge gain for corrosive from 810 to 1220.
Exactly.
1221,
and the resistor gave only 200 and something. So in the end, like I said, it was still net positive on corrosive.
Yeah.
And a huge positive on penetrative, which is the one you take damage all the time with the NEMAX.
Yeah, because it's only 270, isn't it, on the corrosive resistors? So you're still getting another 200 on top anyway.
Yeah, I'm super. And the other big thing is the top targets in the raid were giving you like shards for that missile, that limited missile. Right? So, but I wasn't using it because if you added just on one ship, it would mess up the turning speed. Because that one has a turn speed bonus. It does more damage too, so it's good. It's more powerful than the one we have. Just like for the Saturn, the limited scattergun hits underwater, but the regular scattergun doesn't hit underwater.
Huh. Yeah, so, Mike, go to slide 15. Go ahead. I'm sorry, go ahead, Ren.
Oh, I was just saying, so in the end, by having the penetrative sync drive that levels the speed, combat and turn speed by the lowest one, I now have the freedom to add the new missile to ships without getting them all out of sync. So that to me was important.
FA, Mike stepped away for a minute. He'll be right back.
So even
Okay.
if you,
I'm here.
so it's even good just to throw one in. I mean, I haven't got the new missiles, but if you did, you'd be better off just even if you could just throw one of the new engines on there.
You can exactly. You can throw as many as you want.
Everything up. That would fix
Yeah.
everything up.
You can
Yeah.
you can throw as many as you want on the ship with the sync drive because it's not going to be turning faster than the other ships anymore,
Yeah, yeah,
right? And you gain more
Yeah.
firepower because that missile's better.
yeah. Because then, if you say you had 5, you don't have to put one on each one to keep them all
Exactly.
in line. You can just, because one isn't probably a day's worth of tokens, so you might,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because I
it's
didn't
probably
want to put
50.
any on the flagship because the flagship
Yeah.
doesn't. My flagship saw countermeasures, so putting a new missile there would be a waste. But I wanted to put on the other ships that have the damage bonus. Now I
Yeah.
can, and they won't be out of speed sync.
Yeah, so you don't have to try and match them up. Make sure you
Nope.
got 1 on each one or 2 on each one. If you got 1 on one and 3 on another one, it's not going to make any difference. As long as you got one of the synchro drives on, or sync
Yeah,
drives.
because it matches all the speeds to the lowest speed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And turn. And then, did you say that's for turn as well?
I was having issues earlier today. It seems to fix itself. Earlier today, I was hitting a 95, and the ones that had the sync drive were out of whack. They weren't stacking, but later I took them in, and I wasn't having an issue. So
I didn't have any. Maybe it was earlier than I tried. When I tried, it was afternoon, right? So, and the 2 ships with the sync drive and the other 3 were all stacking up perfectly. You can see that on the video I posted. No issues.
Yeah. It says it'll match the lowest speed. But it does the turn as well.
It's turn as well. It's turn and combat.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
All
the what's its name? The ships there from the last cycle, the Bat Ray and the other one, they had that thing too to match the lowest ship.
Yeah.
And, it worked for both.
Yeah, but that was
combat and
built
turn.
in though, wasn't it?
It
that
was.
built in?
This one, yeah. On those it was.
Yeah.
But these ones now they're not built in, but you can add through this new sync drive.
Yeah.
Pretty neat, I gotta say.
Mm.
Other than having to refit ships I just completed. That sucks.
Yeah. Yeah. Or else you got to make sure everything's matched up. You got to have the exact build on every ship else.
Yeah, because now if you want to use a Midnight Marauder or a Grease Monkeys during battles, the ships will stay stacked. Right? That's good.
Because that's the problem we used to have with the IBs, the icebreakers. You had to have exactly the same amount of weapons on each ship, or the damn things are all out.
Yep.
Hey, Mike, are you back yet?
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm
could
here.
you go to slide 15?
Oh, okay.
I think we might be past that, but yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
No, I need to hear about this. I haven't really checked anything out. I saw it, but now that Ren's saying go for it, I understand why, and I like the idea.
Well, it has once you got them all on all of them, it gives you, if you're using whatever you're using, it gives you more speed. Because it's 95 compared to 92 and 86.
Yeah, but look at this survivability. That's crazy.
That too, yeah, and that as well, yeah.
That's the huge.
And you're still getting evade, and you're still getting evade as well.
Yeah, that's like huge.
Mm. I mean, I went speed system 6 just for the extra speed and more evade. But I mean, you lose 3% in evade, but that's going to make no difference at all because you're getting extra speed and you're getting the penetrator survival now.
Exactly, I like it.
Yeah, so I'm definitely going for them. I've already got 2, but I haven't put them on yet.
I think a lot of people have a good path forward on at least the Nemesis. I don't know about the Saturn, but if you want to go one step, actually go to 13, Mike, 2 steps back. What would people recommend at this point in regards to the mana core? If I have 25 days of tokens. As far as refitting them,
that.
what?
I said I would love to build that, but I can't do it right now. I'm pretty high.
Okay.
Well,
I already put that
definitely
on my
use the new.
Manticore.
If you have a bunch of tokens for your Manticores, definitely use
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Alloy
use them.
COM4. Put
Yeah.
that on them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the
that
one
would
good
be-
thing, it's
that would be
nearly a
one-
day. It's nearly a day, so you're not losing that much either if you use a token.
Well, there's also like I'm wondering like the next one. Do you get just from the penetrating survive? Click one more,
Is that,
Mike.
is that engine thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I don't
mean,
like that engine one for any of the assault fleets. I'm actually
I think it
thinking of
looks
using
cool
that.
as fuck.
I'm thinking of using that assault engine special on my basilisks, not on the
Nice.
assault ships.
but
Nice.
but you would see a problem putting this over like pen or corrosive resistors
Well,
on your mana cores. I'm not
Well,
saying
it's slower.
Yeah, it's slow. It's slower.
no. It's
and
the same
there's no
speed.
evade.
It's the same speed.
No,
No, it's 70.
No, look at move up right over one where it's R15.
I see
yeah.
what you mean. R15,
Yeah,
it's
okay,
86.
yeah.
It's the same. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Then you're only losing evade then.
Where's
Losing
that in the
an
retro
evade,
lab?
but you're getting 711 penetrating survival, which is going to have double the impact on the mana core than it would have on your Saturn, your Nemesis, because it's tier 7. As opposed to having, like we talked about before.
I would use that shit for sure.
Assault
What?
engine. Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, see, the good thing is most people might already have that ranked up to 15. Mine will be 15 already.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, it's engine 3. It's been around. This grouping
Yeah.
has been around forever.
Compound
so yeah, you should be at
engine system.
86.7.
Yeah. Compound engine systems it comes under. Yeah. Mine's already R15 because I thought, shit, I better have a look.
Yeah, because it's going to be the same
See
speed
where it
as your
is.
penetrative
Yeah.
or corrosive resistors.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
But
yeah.
the thing is, you're getting,
2.5
to 3 times the penetrating survival that you would with penetrative resistors.
Now, would you do that on scattergun manticores too, or only missile manticores?
Well, what compare it to what you had before is, that's the question. You're not losing anything as far as movement.
And you're gaining
That would
penetrative
work
survival.
on both because the mana cores they have the bonus weapons to where you're doing both damages. So this would probably still work
Yeah,
for the
could be.
second half of the weapon. You know what I mean?
You got to
Yeah,
remember
my
you're getting
concern
penetrative
on my-
survival.
Yeah, because my missile manticores were built with Strike System 5, so I would have a problem because then I would need a second special to have the range.
Well, the only thing you do, you'd
Oh,
have to
yeah,
use
yeah, that's tough.
optical tracking, wouldn't you?
Yeah, so I gotta
But then you-
sacrifice something else to put that one in. Make them more like the NMX in terms of build.
I think
I
mine
don't have
already had
tokens,
that
so I'm
anyway.
not doing that.
I can't remember.
Yeah.
Oh no,
yeah,
mine
and
don't have optical either. Mine has the missile. What do you call it? Strike system or whatever it's called on the mine as well.
Strike 5.
Strike 5, yeah.
Okay. And Cuttlefish is mentioning the trying to figure out which slide that is again, but he's mentioning the special that came with the offensive.
The
That
Saturn?
that came with the Saturn. If you're running the scatter guns.
Yeah.
You could also use the battery for that as well on the missile ones.
The pen those are the pen batteries are pen and corrosive batteries are limited.
Yeah, I've got 10. I've got 5 the first time and 5 the second time. So
Okay, I'm just I was suggesting stuff that wasn't limited, like the assault engine is not limited.
okay, yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't use a
this is
limited
a one and
component
done.
on old ships, right?
No, not unless you
not
had
if
a
you
lot
haven't
of
got
them.
enough.
Yeah, like 50
Yeah.
of them.
Well, you can only get 10 at the moment of the pen batteries. At the most, at the moment.
No,
That's
no,
how many I've.
yeah,
Hey,
before
Mike, can you go to
30.
slide 56?
Yeah, but once you get 5, like once I had my 5, I didn't waste time going for 5 more to put on manticores because there was a lot of points in the raid. I couldn't score that many. And I'm saying I couldn't score that many points, and I scored pretty well. I think I was like around my global rank in the raid was around 1100th place or so. And I didn't have enough points to go for the batteries.
Yeah. I wouldn't worry about it on the mana cores. I would just upgrade it with some of the newer tech that you have if you have tokens. Because I know I'll do it to mine. I've always stay up to when I have tokens. I'll always put new shit on my stuff, even if I don't use it anymore. Because you never know if you need it. So yeah, add some new comm to it. Try to fit something on there. See what fits, and then use your tokens wisely. Some are 3 days, some are 1 days. Just hook that shit up.
Yeah.
Okay. And this right now we have on the screen the Saturn special that Cuttlefish was mentioning. It's most likely going to be improvement over what you already have. And again, it depends on how many tokens you have, because I wouldn't recommend a lot of extra time be spent, real time be spent on this, or real tokens, generic tokens or whatnot. But I just wanted to sort of, that people want to use them, and there's some new tech out there. Let's go to the next slide. Is this is a little one that's going to be a little iffier. Did you go backwards? There we go. This is going to have a weight issue, and has anybody tried this out? As far as how many you can put on or anything of that nature? Because you're getting significantly more damage. Again, we're still talking about the mana cores.
Yeah, my missile manticores, in a couple of them when I had tokens, I put 2 of the new missiles. And then I could keep 1 of the old missiles and 1 countermeasure. I think it was something like that I did.
Yeah, that's what I've ended up doing as well. I ended up, because you can only get 2 on. 2 of the new missiles on for the weight.
Yeah, it's heavy, but it's worth it. It's worth to lose the old ones for 2 of those.
Yeah, but I think the damage went from something like 75 or 90,000 up to 225,000 just with 2 missiles.
Yep.
That's taking everything else off and just having 2 missiles. It's tripled the amount of damage.
It is. Because the new missile is like 30-something damage, and the old ones are like 9,000. So it's worth it.
Yeah. Sometimes less is more.
No, you're right. Actually, especially with that launcher. The launcher, same thing. On the hydras, I could fit like 3 or 4 maybe. And then I had to pull everything else off. Oh, I hooked up my hydras. But that's what we used to get tokens. I don't fuck with them anymore now.
That's what I did too. 3 or 2, 3 I think, wasn't it, on the hydras? Maybe 4, I can't remember.
Yeah, 3 was safe. 3 was safe.
Yeah.
Now, the one thing you're going to lose on the manticores, at least when I removed that Stinger missile and I put only 2 of the new one.
Is corrosive?
It's corrosive survival. Yeah, because it had a small corrosive survival bonus. You lose that, right? But
you also lose
the specials or the armors you put in, you more than make up for that.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing you're missing is corrosive damage. Because the Stinger does a proportion of the, a quarter of the damage is also corrosive.
So it's 1,500 or something like that.
Yeah, but
it's
still
about a quarter of the damage, I think, somewhere around there.
Yeah, but either way, that's not going to add up. Even if you've got if you've got a Manticore fully loaded with those Stingers, it's still nowhere near as much damage as to the new missiles.
Yep.
No, but it's better than the old shit. But it's better than the old shit.
225,000. That's way more than what you can get out of the fleet, nearly.
I would upgrade if you have tokens, but use them wisely and just add a few pieces. It'll just make your fleet better.
Well, what I've been doing, because we've been having the Manticore TLCs and you pick up the tokens during the raids and whatever else we've been having, I pick them up, use them, pick up the next one. Oh, I store them. Then the next time, oh shit, there's another 10 there. Okay, I'll use these 10, pick up the next 10. Then the next time, oh yeah, there's another 10 I can pick up. Use these 10, pick up another 10.
Yeah, I got what you're saying. Yep, I still got some 3-day ones.
Because everyone always says to me, "Oh, why do you keep picking up these tokens?" And I go, "Because you never know when you're going to need them."
Yeah, if they're not hard to get, I suggest always getting them and just stacking them. Just watch the storage space because they like to fuck up on some of them.
Yeah, well, these are only 10 at a time. So when there's another 10, I just use them.
Yeah, it should be
And then pick
99
up the
like
next 10.
everything else and just call
You
it a day.
can't-
Everything
yeah.
should be, I know, it's just ridiculous.
You can't pick up 99. If you could pick up 99, I'd have 99 of them by now. But yeah, I just use the 10, pick up the next 10. I don't. If they're there, I pick them up. I just use them and pick up the next lot.
No, I got you. That's awesome. That's good.
Okay. Well, we're still on the subject of the mana cores.
Yeah.
I upgraded my Makara up to U1,
Nice.
and it was 14 hours as opposed to the 1.1 days. So it appears that we get half of the time that we get on the ships that we're used to. So be aware of that. And somebody did the regular mana core and said it was only 3 hours for U1, or is that did I misunderstand that?
No, it's 13 hours.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I haven't actually upgraded it yet, but I did put one in there to see.
I wonder
and
what
like I
level
said,
2 is.
it was only like an hour's difference.
Huh.
Okay, so it's about half. It is like half the time of the tier 8 stuff that we're seeing.
Well, that's
Yeah.
good.
Okay.
So the problem with that is it's half a token.
Yeah. No, well, you don't use the first token. Use that
Yeah,
on level
no.
2.
Yeah. You gotta wait.
Yeah, 14 hours. Just like go do something for a while and then forget about it. And then the next day it's done. And then you do
Do
the
it
second
overnight.
day and then use the token.
Yeah, do it overnight. Just take
Exactly.
you 5 days. Takes you 5 days just to get to U1.
5 days. Wait. I thought you said it was 14 hours.
Yeah, but if you're doing it overnight, say you did it overnight, so you're not locking up your.
Oh, yeah. You
if
mean
you
for
do
all
one
of
a
them. I
night,
got you. Yeah.
if
I
you do
got
one
you.
a night,
No,
Yeah.
I got you. Yeah, same page. I got you now. I thought you just meant for that one. I'm like, how the hell did that happen?
no.
With the 14 hours and now 5 days? Something's not right here.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay. Anything we haven't covered at this point? Feel free to chime in.
I think we about got it.
Okay. Yeah, we covered the FM changes. We've covered the TLCs. We've covered, some of the future builds and how to make. Oh, did we get into the fact that I stepped out for a second? I had to, but personally, with I am a Nemesis owner and now an Arch Nemesis owner. I've stripped all the. I spent. We didn't have the refit tax. I stripped all the MSDS 3s off of my my normal Nemesis and just loaded up with 6 on my normal Arch Nemesis. And the reason I was so aggressive of stripping them all off is because the accuracy difference associated with the Nemesis and the Arch Nemesis. So if people are going to build the Arch Nemesis as a counter ship, it has higher inherent accuracy. And with the distribution of 6 counters to 2 missile only or weapon only, you might actually want to change specials. I put anti-proliferation 2 on that one as opposed to Prometheus missile system. So now it's even more of a, as opposed to just being, now I'm up to 90% anti-missile accuracy. I just wanted to bring this up because if you have the Prometheus missile system on your normal Nemesis, and then you're also running your Arch Nemesis, it's a tagging system. You're going to have much lower accuracy on those ones. And so you're actually going to see interference associated with the MSDS 3s on your normal Nemesis because they're going to have lower accuracy, less efficient, but they're still going to be firing at the incoming missiles and then missing, and you're going to be sacrificing the shots that might have been taken from the higher accuracy hull. So just wanted to throw that up for people.
Yeah, I made
got
similar
something.
changes. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go first, Rand. You were talking. Sorry.
No, just like that's something we kind of mentioned before. I think Hefe was kind of away. So I have the 6 countermeasures, the MDS on my flag, with the anti-proliferation system 2, and then on the other 4 guys, I tried to have no countermeasures, but then I couldn't put all missiles because of the weight.
Mm-hmm.
So I have one Phalanx 4 because it's shorter
Mhm.
range, and no special, no, because I don't use the Prometheus on any of my ships. The other 4 they have carbon fiber casing because of the damage and reload bonus
Nice.
instead.
Okay.
So there's no problem of the flagship competing for countermeasure with the other guys that have lower accuracy. The
Yeah.
flagship is my countermeasure ship. Period.
Yeah, and if you put the Phalanx 4, even if you have the Prometheus missile system, it's
It's too short.
Phalanx 4 only has a range of 47 versus 50, and then once you put any sort of extender on there, it becomes even wider. So if you run them stacked, it shouldn't become an issue with the Phalanxes interfering. And the only reason you would put them on, because I don't think you're going to get overwhelmed, is for the 270 penetrating survival. I would. It used to be 15%. It was so much easier to talk about things when it was, oh, these are all 15%. This, as opposed to throwing out these other numbers, which are a little less at this point ingrained in people's minds, as opposed to being like, oh, a weapon that has 15% penetrating resistance. Oh, that's pretty good. But whatever number it is, I think it's 270. It's a little more difficult to, for people to break down in their heads at this point in time because we're not used to it. And I think it's also going to change every tier level. So it's going to be harder, I think, for people to communicate about things with the new defense rating system.
Yeah, guys, I'm gonna drop. Have
Okay.
a happy weekend, everyone. Happy Easter. Thanks for having me, Jeff. And
No
talk to
problem.
you guys later.
Okay.
Take
Have a
care,
good
Ren.
one, Ren.
See you,
See
good
you,
one,
Ren.
Ren.
Bye.
Thanks, Rain.
So I think we are pretty much wrapping up at this point. If anybody else would like to join the show, and does anybody have any parting words or any new things to say?
Well, actually,
Okay, go ahead.
have you tried any of the skirmish campaigns that's going on right now?
Yes.
The ones for the upgrades? No, not me
Yes.
personally. Go ahead.
As long as you keep your bat rays moving and don't get hit by the missiles from the Nemesis Protos, the mortar, whatever you want to call it, it's pretty much instant repair
Yeah.
on all prize packs.
Okay.
Yeah, they are. They're very easy. I haven't done the one with the Eradicators yet. I don't know what that one's like. But all the other ones are easy as.
Yeah.
Okay.
They've definitely turned down the damage than, compared to the last TLC we had with the same targets.
Okay. Maybe I'll bother doing them because before I hadn't even bothered to do them because it was,
I mean, like the first prize pack, I think it's like instant repair on the map. And then after that, it's pretty much go in the dock, split them, instant repair, and back out. And there's that much, because you're doing them so quick, there's heaps of time to go in there, repair them, and come back and out and do another target.
Okay.
I mean, other people probably just barrel all the way through,
Mm-hmm.
and repair them at the end, but just go in, repair, split, instant repair them, and come straight back out.
Okay.
Be done in 30 minutes. That's
Very nice.
going in and repairing them and coming back out.
Nice.
That's all three of the TLCs are exactly the same.
Yeah.
Okay. That sounds like fun, but okay.
Oh yeah, but I'm just saying. What I'm saying is all the same. Is you can just go in, repair them, and come out. If you don't want to wait, if you don't want to have a repair bill at the end.
Yeah. Stardust is asking, is that with the Brennus? I'm assuming you have a Brennus.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine was with the Brits.
Yep. Okay. Well, that's good information. I didn't know that.
But I mean, even so, even if you haven't got the Brennus, it might not be too bad. Obviously, you're going to take more damage because you can't kill the subs as quick. But
Mhm.
yeah, I think you'd still do pretty good with them.
Yeah, it's very doable, even with the kicks I build.
I think you'd be fine. Well, yeah, especially if you upgraded them and you listen to some of the shit we told you to add in those spots. I think you'd do really good with just 5 regular ones if they've been refitted.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, you're going to take more damage, but I still think you get all the way through it with probably half repair if you didn't go in and repair them at the end. And I don't know, you might still be able to instant repair. It might be a minute or a minute here and there on each one. Maybe. I don't know, because I don't have them. I don't know that.
Yeah, that's something that I'll have to check out once I get them healed from hitting my SSRBs. So it's good information. Thank you.
It would have been good though if someone had been on here that knew without the flag how it went.
I'm actually about to go test that.
No, there you go.
Okay. Well, that'll be a while in the offing. So,
Well, actually, I'm going to have to hop off.
Okay.
It's Saturday here. So the shops are open. Tomorrow, I don't really want to go to the shops tomorrow being Easter Sunday. So I'm going to go to my stuff for Easter right now.
all right.
Before it gets crowded, because it's only 8 o'clock in the morning. They just opened. So I'll hopefully be back while you're still on the after show.
Okay.
So I'll just mute myself while I'm gone.
Okay. See you back, and good luck
Thanks a lot.
getting that koala steak.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Good show. Good show.
Yeah.
And I'll catch you soon.
Okay.
Bye,
Sounds
everyone.
good. See you in a few.
Later on.
All right. I think we're going to wrap up. The link is, I'll post it one more time in case you'd like to join the after show. And we'll be back on Wednesday, if not before, in case something interesting happens. We won't have a lot of notice if something interesting happens, because a couple interesting things happened over the weekend, like Sunday, Monday. And I'm like, oh, I got to give people, it might just be real quick. So, so keep, subscribe if you want to pop on there or whatever, because it may not be much notice. And if not, we'll see you on Wednesday. Talk about bounty. Oh, one of my favorites. So, all right. Everyone say good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night, people.
Good night.